नमाहं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतशे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते सप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So we'll begin from 7.21. Uh, but before I begin with 7.21, I like to say something about that verse 7.19 is basically Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. अरे तोषणी my bro,
हरि बोल
you
दंडवत
give.
प्रणाम।
अरे you give.
नहीं नहीं, मैं आपका क्लास सुनूंगा।
Hey, come on. Don't make me fearful.
अरे कुछ भी। अल्लाह
अरे
प्रॉन
you,
प्योर
I
ब्रह्मचारी
hope.
वी शुड हियर फ्रॉम।
अरे प्रभु, you all know Toshan Mahaprabhu is one of a very stalwart scholar,
कुछ भी।
devotee. Arey, come on, bro. Okay, if I'm giving, I will consider it's my evaluation uh, session. So you evaluate and later on let me know.
सुन
But
रहा हूँ मैं।
please stop in between, and if you find me going here there or you want to add, please add. They will benefit a lot. Very
हरि बोल दंडवत प्रणाम। थैंक यू।
very good. So yeah, so this verse Bahunam Janmanam Anta Jnanavan Man Prabhadate. Actually, there is a the Lord actually over there is saying this Gyani. Gyani is very dear to me for sure. You know, is very dear to the Lord because of other than the other three is very great. But he also says in this verse that this devotee will also take a lot of time to come back to me. Means because to come to this understanding, Vasudevam Sarvamiti, is not going to happen so easily for him also. That's why he's been because it's been that is why it's been said that after many births, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. Surrendering and knowing are two different things. So this devotee who eventually comes to understanding of Vasudeva Sarvamiti, and I hope you remember what I said about Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Those shlokas we read from Bhagavatam. And actually he then because such Mahatma actually who has surrendered to the Lord is very durlabha. So why I just wanted to repeat it over here, so that we know the difference between the Lord when he's saying Mahatma is about those who are Ekanta Bhakta or Kevala Bhaktas, and a pure devotees, pure devotional practitioners. Oh, they are very rare. You know? The rarity is not said about over here, about the Jnani Bhakta. The rarity is said about the Mahatma. Mahatmas, the great souls, who are the great devotees, the pure devotees of the Lord. They are very rare, right? So this Jnani is very dear to the Lord for sure, because practically he has no material motives, and he is far higher than even inquisitive people. Actually, because he has self-realization, he understands he is different from the self, so you know, he is actually he's greater than them. But there is also so, but there is also he will take some time to come to the level of this particular level of being a Mahatma. Uh, so that is why this verse has God has have said that it will take a lot of time. Whereas the other three types of devotees are so Gigyasu and Artharthi. No problem. Actually, the fact that they are coming to the Lord is also very great. Only they will take also some time. Maybe, maybe because of the sakam practice of bhakti that they have, they may take many lifetimes also to come to the level of become a Gyanvan Bhakta and then surrender to him, to the Lord. So this verse actually very clearly talks about the difference between a Jnani and a Kevala Bhaktas. That we should understand very clearly. Because the Lord has said, because in one of the class which I was giving, one devotee was saying, "Hey, वो तो उधर भगवान ने बोल दिया ज्ञानी को, he's a priyosi में, he is so dear to me." And then in towards the ninth chapter, Krishna speaks something about Dvaka and Jnani. That is not so favorable. So that devotee got confused. Uh, why? Because probably he could not understand, that over here the Lord is saying in comparison to the other three, he is very great. Not that actually he is very great in equal to in par with the pure devotees of the Lord. So now over here 7.21 begins with will begin with the 7.212. So I'll recite you. I'll show you the shloka and let's recite together. यो यो यां यां तनुं भक्तः श्रद्धया अर्चितुम् इच्छति तस्य तस्याचलं श्रद्धां ताम् एव विदधाम्यहम्. Please, one of you recite, one of you read the translation. Uh,
Uh, Translation: I am in everyone's heart as super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity.
Wait. So now, Prabhu, you remember that after talking about the three category of devotees, then the Lord actually talks about the demigod worshippers. And actually, those who actually the glory of these three are four are they come to the Lord. But the question naturally be asked, Bhavan, unka kya hoga who is not going to come to you directly? So then the Lord starts saying that first he said in the last year, no, I know Hrita Jnana, right? Na? Now over here the Lord is stating about ahead he is talking about these kind of devotees. What happens with them and how do they actually even go ahead in their in demigod worship also? So Krishna is saying, I award them the faith. That's very great. The Lord is saying, I award them the faith so that they can go ahead with the worship of demigods. This is what. Please read the purport. So,
God has given independence to everyone. Therefore, if a person desires to have material enjoyment and wants very sincerely to have such facilities from material demigods, the Supreme Lord, as Super Soul in everyone's heart, understands and gives facilities to such persons. As the Supreme Father of all living entities, He does not interfere with their independence, but gives all facilities so that they can fulfill their material desires. Some may ask why the all powerful God gives facilities to the living entities for enjoying this material world and so lets them fall into the trap of illusory energy. The answer is that if the Supreme Lord as Super Soul does not give such facilities, then there is no meaning to independence. Therefore, He gives everyone full independence, whatever one likes. But His ultimate instruction we find in Bhagavad Gita: one should give up all other engagements and fully surrender unto Him. That will make the man happy.
that will make man happy. So actually, good teacher is like that. He tells the standard and he doesn't forces the student. You know, a good parents after a certain time are those who set the standard, who tell the very clear standard, but yet give them an option. Okay, because that's how because Krishna wants to maintain relationship with the and because he has a favorable loving heart towards all the jivas. All jivas are his sons. So there is so it is like that. The Lord himself says, okay, okay, go ahead. Like some boy, just giving a material example to you. Like a boy, who is maybe studying in ninth, and the father and mother may be saying, "Chalo, science le lo." In 11, 12, they say, "Na, maths le lo, PCM या PCB le lo." And child is saying, "I will take, you know, history and something arts, something like that." So the what the what the father and mother is ideal they're supposed to do. Okay. See, this was good. I'm just giving an example. I am not having any kind of a, saying over here science is better or history is better, something like that. But I'm just telling you, does the parents will say it is better, but better says, then I'll take science, history only. Okay, well, like take history. Still, he facilitates them. Now the parents will facilitate, will give money, and tell, chalo, kuch karo, you know. At least don't go out of the, at least he's good that he has not gone out of the, realm of the Vedic, Vedic scriptures. At least he is. But it is not something which is, that is why the Lord actually, he doesn't interfere with the independence of the jivas. He is our only property is our minute independence, the free will that we have. So Prabhupada writes a very, read, it's bit read, दिख रहा है क्या आप लोगों को? दिख रहा है तो पढ़िए. Whole purport is very good. पढ़िए.
Both the living entity Both the living entity and the demigods are subordinate to the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the living entity cannot worship the demigod by his own desire, nor can the demigod bestow any benediction without the Supreme Will. As it is said, not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Generally, persons who are distressed in the material world go to the demigods, as they are advised in the Vedic literature. A person wanting some particular thing may worship such and such demigod. For example, a deceased person is recommended to worship the sun god. A person wanting education may worship the goddess of learning Saraswati. And a person wanting a beautiful wife may worship the goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva. In this way, there are recommendations in the Shastras, Vedic literatures, for different modes of worship of different demigods. And because a particular living entity wants to enjoy a particular material facility, the Lord inspires him with a strong desire. The Lord, yeah, the Lord inspires him with a strong desire to achieve the benediction from that particular demigod, and so he successfully receives the benediction. The particular mode of devotional attitude of the living entity towards a particular type of demigod is also arranged by the Supreme Lord. The demigods cannot infuse the living entity with such an affinity, but because he is the Supreme Lord or the Super Soul who is present in the hearts of all living entity, Krishna gives impetus to a man to worship certain demigods. The demigods are actually different parts of the universal body of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they have no independence. In the Vedic literature, it is stated the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Super Soul is also present within the heart of demigod. Therefore, he arranges through the demigod to fulfill the desire of the living entity. But both the demigod and the living entity are dependent on the supreme will. They are not independent.
Yeah, so beautiful it is. The Lord is the supreme controller, right now, but supremely detached. uh, Supremely detached. It requires a quite of a good amount of detachment actually to allow the jiva to even go to the demigod, right now. And not just to allow, ठीक है, जाओ. Actually to to instill faith in him, and to sanction, and to also and empower the demigod, to fulfill his desires. All that is being done over here by the Lord himself, and a supremely detached. That is why is one of his qualities is supremely renounced. Uh, so, and because of his renounced temperament, actually nobody can blame him. You know, nobody can blame him. He Nobody can tell him that he is forced me. You know, so he is. Prabhupada is writing, not a blade of a grass moves without the will of the Supreme Lord. So what to say about somebody awarding him, and somebody desiring to worship also the or having a faith to worship the demigod. That also Lord says, okay, okay, you want, because the jiva has only one, as I said to you, the free will, the desire. The moment the living entity submits his desire to the Lord, Lord makes everything for him. And if he has a different desire, then also the Lord only makes everything available for him. Because finally, the jiva's we are his part and parcel. So, so in this, that is why the Lord put, the Lord is saying them to be, that, Vita Jnana. Their Jnana actually has been stolen away. So, so Lord is saying, I give firm faith in those devatas, no, no, to the living beings from whom they desire to worship. You know, so the Lord is gives you desire, I give the faith. That is why even he gives faith to the Asuric people in Asuras in Asuric's way of living. The Lord is neutral. The Lord is neutral. In these all cases, only if a person submits to the Lord, his actually submits his desire to worship Him. As if that is the time when the Lord actually shows a different behavior. In fact, we see even demigods. That Indra, when he was going off track, the Lord intervenes into it. Then there are many devotees who goes bit off track, the Lord intervenes into their life. As such, the Lord is neutral. We can also say renounced, completely renounced. Having power but does not use it at all. So, uh, you know, so, actually, that is something very great. So this is a verse which actually, is saying that the Lord is saying you should know very well that Devata is also pleased, pleased with being worshipped, will produce some faith in worshipping because if see the thing is over here in this verse Krishna is saying that nobody should say that Devata that is being because he is pleased with the worship, that is how he produces a faith. No, Devatas can't. So Devatas can't gives us the faith in the Supreme Lord. Because some people say that okay, the Lord is only the no, the demigods are only the are only the are also they are also extensions of the Lord. They are also they are compared to Virat Rupa of the Lord. So it is equivalent to worshipping the Lord and the demigod and or you worship the Lord. That says no. See, demigod can't produce. Somebody suppose is worshipping sun god, and the sun god is very happy, and he can give us faith in worshipping the supreme Lord. That doesn't happen. Lord Shiva is a different category. That's why we don't put him into demigod category. So, so that doesn't happen. But opposite जरूर होता है. The Lord actually has to do it. The Lord awards faith in the people's heart, those who want to worship the demigods. Because you know, I yeah, because Devatas itself doesn't have that much of uh, broad Shraddha in the Supreme Lord yet. So so the Lord is very clearly saying that I, being the super soul and have great powers, and because I desire the benefit of all the creatures, I produce their faith in Devatas also because they desire so. And I inspire them to worship those Devatas and bestow the respective results of worship of each Devata. Devatas don't have power, you know. This has been very clearly been stated over here in the shloka. They don't have the power. And I award them power, and that is how it happens too. That is why this, the shloka says over here, uh, yo yam yam tanum bhaktah shraddhaya architam ikshati. Are tasya tasya chalam shraddham tam eva vidadhamiham. So I, with the steady faith, I surely give them that steady faith in that particular Tanum Bhaktaha, form of a devotee of a form of a demigod, so that he worships him with Shraddhaya Architum Ikshati, right? With some desire they worship so that they can get it. I award them faith, and I. So the Lord is very clearly saying these two verses away. The next verse also, he talks about the same line, and he's going to say very clearly that I am the one who is actually श्रद्धा मैं देता हूँ और और भी ये श्रद्धा तो दूंगा ही he endeavors and then up जो desire the desire which will be obtained the result which will be obtained is also given by me you know so both the things the shraddha and the result of the worship of the demigod is given by the Lord. So that is why we can understand it's a foolish actually to go to the demigod. Rather, why not go to the God only, to Krishna only? This is a verse, next verse too. Repeat after with me. Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasya Aradhanam Ihate Labhate Cha Tatah Kamam Maya Eva Vihitan Hitan. Please else, somebody else read. Please read.
Third and translation. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, his benefits are bestowed by me alone. Purport. The demigods cannot award benedictions to their devotees without the permission of the Supreme Lord. The living entity may forget that everything is the property of the Supreme Lord, but the demigods do not forget. So the worship of demigods and achievement of desired results are due not to the demigods but to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by arrangement. But the pure devotee, when in need of something, prays only to the Supreme Lord, asking for material benefit, however, is not a sign of a pure devotee. A living entity goes to the demigods, usually because he is mad to fulfill his lust. This happens when something undue is desired by the living entity and the Lord himself does not fulfill the desire. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that one who worships the Supreme Lord and at the same time desires material enjoyment is contradictory in his desire. Devotional service to the Supreme Lord and the worship of a demigod cannot be on the same platform. Because worship of a demigod is material and devotional service of the Supreme Lord is completely spiritual. For the for the living entity who desires to return to Godhead, material desires are impediment. A pure devotee of the Lord is therefore not awarded the material benefits desired by the less intelligent entities who therefore prefer to worship demigods of the material world rather than engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. So the in the first verse before to it, Lord said, "I award the faith," and as over here he's saying, "I award the result also, which they expect." Prabhupada writes, over here, amazingly, that he differentiates between the living being and a demigod, saying that the divinity may forget everything that may forget that everything is property of the Lord, but the demigods do not forget. But we do see that Indra, appears to forget that. But that's a covered over for a time being. Back again, they come back to the neutral point. But a living entity, living entity forgets completely. He has to give in a doses of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, so many classes. Still it doesn't awaken. So in that way, it has been said. But it is not that a demigods, they may because of being taken away by pride or something like for a time being, they may get here and there, but they do remember about it. But still, they want to enjoy life. You know, that's because of their mixed devotional nature. So Prabhupada is saying that Prabhupada compares actually over here that the pure devotee who may need sometimes some material benefit. Amazing, a pure devotee and may need material benefit may be like that. The Prabhupada is asking for material benefit, how is not a sign of a pure devotee. A devotee goes to demigods usually to fulfill. This is so, but maybe because of some need. Uh, a person who may be on a practice of a pure devotional service path, for sure he is not a pure devotee yet. But yeah, abhilashita, ta word is said about those kind of, the ta is being said for those kind of desires which actually a living being has, and actually maybe to for his need basis, So ta is allowed. Need basis things are allowed. So even if a devotee may ask something, the Lord is saying, or the Prabhupada is saying over here, that the Lord says, "So charnam diya vishaya bhulaipa." Right now, I'll give my charnamrit to him, and I'll not, and make him forget all his material desires that is hanging in his heart. He after that doesn't looks for it. But the point is over here that a demigod, that the worship of the demigod, the faith in it, and the the benefit, the result, both is awarded by the Lord. So he attains the result. The worshipper attains the result also because the Lord awards it. You know. So even though such a worshipper does not have a proper knowledge that Devata arise from me, I give his result. Since I consider that such faith in the Devata is also an indirect faith in my form. you know that is why the Lord actually awards it. Chalo, at least he doesn't knows it, but finally, ultimately, he is coming to me in the indirect way. He doesn't knows that, but okay, chalo, award it. That is why he is awarding. So as a devotee, we should be very clear. uh, Actually, these two verses very clearly are saying there is not much need of going to a demigod. Why to go? First, it is not going to help us in our pure devotion service practice, and second, even the result which has to come, you know, will come through the Lord only. Not that demigod has its own way of giving it. He can't give it. And in the faith, the Lord is only awarding because we have some material desires, and we know, and the devotee may think that Lord will not award me because he already says, "Swa Charanamritiya विषय भूला ही वो." नहीं नहीं नहीं, विषय छोड़ना नहीं है, विषय पकड़ के रखना है, to maintain material attachment. Oh, that's where is the problem. So, as a devotee, we should be far away. Respect demigod. Don't approach them with material desires. Don't go. That's what is the very clear. We can understand this much. So, yeah, somebody was raising his hand. So, please go ahead if you still have a question.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, it is said that in the last verse that the demigod, the Supreme Lord is only giving the faith to the particular living entity to approach some demigod to fulfill his material desire. So, Prabhuji, how can we understand? And then the Supreme Lord can give faith for himself also to fulfill the material desire to the living entity.
You
Then
missed
why
that
is
one word.
is he
You
sending the
missed one word.
demigods?
You missed one word. What was the one word? Who can answer it? I very clearly spoke it. Who could catch it? One word. One word. The divinity has dash. That's why Lord awards the faith.
Prabhuji, independence.
No, no, no. Independent. Independence is there. And how we use that independent one word, right? Right. Proper rights and independence. Proper rights in the purport very clearly. One more word, which I
Desire.
used it. Desire.
Desire. Desire.
Yes. You understood, bro? It's a desire of the divinity.
So, actually, the living entity has material desires. So, Lord is sending them to demigods, but Lord can send him to himself also.
He has his material desire and he wants to get it through demigod. And there are many people who don't want to go to demigod also. They are busy with their business. They want to fulfill it in the wrong way, apart from even a Vedic method. So these people, they go. That is why gradation of the verses are there. That one who approaches me, one who approaches demigod, and the next will come who are impersonalists. So the Lord is giving a gradation. So they want desire, independence. They want. So Lord awards. Chalo. Prabhupada writes very clearly in the Bhagavad. Okay.
Yes, Guruji.
So yeah. So we'll go move ahead. Next verse. Uh, wait. So next verse also the Lord actually talks about that how the devotee actually over here 7:22-23. Yes. So the Lord actually says over here in the 23rd verse that how the living entity actually the living entity they don't know that actually the results of these uh, things which they get from the results that they get from the demigod worship is temporary. You know, they don't know that. That's what the Lord actually now rebukes them in one way, or tells them in one way over here, which is like another kind of sarcasm to them. No, it's a his heart. It's not a sarcasm in a way, but because of his heart feeling, hardly feeling for the living entity. He's saying that. अन्तवन्तु फलं तेषां तद्भवति अल्पमेधसाम् देवान् देवो यजो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति माम् अपि. Yes, sorry.
Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Purport.
So now, so destination has been said over here. What is the difference between the Lord after saying about the demigod worship? He is concluding this section by saying what is the difference in the destination between a demigod worshipper and my worship. The Alpamedasam. Yes.
Some commentators on the Bhagavad Gita say that one who worships a demigod can reach the Supreme Lord, but here it is clearly stated that the worshippers of demigod go to the different planetary systems where various demigods are situated, just as a worshipper of the sun achieves the sun, or a worshipper of the demigod of the moon achieves the moon. That is denied. Should I continue, please?
Uh, no, no,
That
Padi,
is
Padi.
that is denied here. For it is clearly stated that the worshipper of demigod go to the different planets in the material world, but the devotee of the Supreme Lord goes directly to the supreme planet of the personality of Godhead. Here the point may be raised that if the demigod are different parts of the body of the Supreme Lord, then the same end should be achieved by worshipping them. However, worshippers of the demigods are less intelligent because they do not know to what part of the body food must be supplied. Some of them are so foolish that they claim that there are many parts and many ways to supply food. This isn't very challenging. Can anyone supply food to body through the ears or eyes? They do not know that these demigods are different parts of the universal body of Supreme Lord, and in their ignorance, they believe that each and every demigod is a separate god.
Hmm. Padi, Padi.
Not only are demigods part of Supreme Lord, but ordinary living entities are also. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the Brahmanas are the head of the Supreme Lord, the Kshatriyas are his arms, the Vaishyas are his waist, the Shudras are his legs, and all serve different functions. Regardless of the situation, if one knows that both the demigods and he himself are part and parcel of Supreme Lord, his knowledge is perfect. But if he does not understand this, he achieves different planets where the demigods reside. This is not the same destination the devotee reaches. The result achieved by demigods, benediction, are perishable because within the material world, the planets, the demigods, and their worshippers are all perishable.
So over here very clearly, the Lord is saying that the demigod planet is perishable, the worshipper is perishable, the commodity that they get from the demigod is also perishable, right? No? So, but still these people worship him. Alpamedasam. So they, so that is why, and they go to their to that people, to those people, and actually they worship them because of their yeah, small intelligence. You know. Arey, why not go for certain thing which is eternal, but they go for something temporary because of their uh, a strong desire to actually gain material things and material lust basically is inside over here. Because this material lust actually these people actually they go. So Prabhupada says that, but if some people and Prabhupada is saying that they don't know from where to supply the food. Mouth is the way to supply it, but not the ear, not the eye, not anywhere else. But they don't know that the Virat Rupa even they are saying there's a way. No, so you perform it. Demigod is so by giving food to the demigod, by worshiping the demigod, you actually can't worship the Lord, you know, because it's a very indirect and it's not a proper way. Prabhupada is giving that analogy and making it explain. But he also says that if somebody knows, regardless of the situation, if one knows that both the demigod and he himself are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, his knowledge is perfect. But if he does not understand this, he achieves a different planet where the demigod resides. So if somebody actually is worshipping, he knows that the demigods are the parts of the Lord, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and they also. And he worship his knowledge is fine, but his devotion is not perfect. You know, so his devotion is not perfect. So he will be called as a mixed devotee if he's still worshipping. You know? So there's a difference between a mixed devotee, a demigod worshipper, and a pure devotee. Demigod worshipper is a fine, is a person who thinks the demigod is all in all. I want this, he is capable of giving, and I'm going to worship, and nobody is higher than him. Mixed devotee means because he has understanding, that the Lord, the demigod are the part and parcel of the Lord, but still worship the demigods. The knowledge is perfect, devotion is not perfect, you know. And the third is the pure devotee or pure devotional practitioner. Krishna, no, uh, Krishna Anushilanam, Krishna only, and the Vishnu avatars, not anybody else. That's what has been said. So these devotees actually these that is why it's been said that they are called Alpamedasham. That they are giving temporary result, whereas the Krishna gives the permanent result. But still these people go because they have Alpamedasham, small intelligence. Now, but somebody may say, "Hey, my dear Lord, you give the devotees of Devata temporary result because you are only giving, you told the result, whereas you give your devotee permanent result. This is not fine." Somebody may say, the Lord say, no, no, no. Those who worship devote devatas, they attain devatas. Those who worship me, they attain me. It is very logical. Lord is also saying, जो चाहिए वही मिलता है. अभी चाहिए ही 5 रुपए तो 5 रुपए मिलेगा. Right? Now, if somebody is going to a king and saying 5 रुपए चाहिए तो 5 रुपए लो. अल्प मेधसाम, छोटा बुद्धि है, अभी भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. King is giving to the minister, and then ask permanent. No, no. हाँ वही चाहिए, क्या चाहिए? Something which is temporary. But buddhi temporary में. That's what we said. That story comes na, that once the king was going, his birthday was there, and he was very happy, and he said, and he was saying, जिसको जो मांगना है मांगो. So he asked one man, क्या चाहिए? One old lady, she was carrying the. So she said, "Oh, just mine, it is very heavy. You just shift from here to here. Temporary, you know. It is all are temporary that they are looking for." Finally, one man said, "I want to become your friend only." The king said, "Acha, come with me." So, so that's what is the. So those who want to make relationship with the Lord, they will, and those who want some temporary benefit, they will attain demigod planet. Those who want to develop relationship with the Lord, they will attain the Lord. So nobody can blame the Lord that, uh, so these are, so nobody can blame the Lord that you are cheating. I am not cheating. What you want, I am giving. So no, devatas are temporary. The devotees becomes so because the so that's what is said. And that is why they are not so called so intelligent. They are alpavedasam. So that's what has been. They have scanty intelligence and they worship the devatas, considering them the devata to be all in all. That's what it is they have, and they're happy with scanty or temporary results. So that's why these people are called as Alpamedasam. I hope you understand two reasons why they are called as Alpamedasam. Who can say it? Two reasons I told you why they are called as
The
Alpamedasam.
first is the first reason is that Prabhuji, they are after temporary enjoyment. So they want temporary things. That's so they goes to demigods, rejecting the permanent ones. So they are less intelligent.
Hmm. One more. So you combine both of it maybe. So no, they go to no, they go because they they don't know that actually that the demigods are also a part and parcel of the Lord. They don't know it, and they are after temporary result, you know, and the because of which they are hell bent on getting temporary results only. Alpamerism. Because of these two factors, they are over here inside Alpamerism. So this is because the worshippers of the Devatas, you know, have limited understanding of enjoyment also, and limited and they don't understand that there is something bigger, better enjoyment. They are like like a beggar. If you give him chapati and sabzi, he will be very happy. Uh, not because he's satisfied, maybe because he doesn't know there is something higher than this also. So like that, so they are just looking for some scanty, pitiable material pleasures. But devotee, they know. They are actually enjoyers. They know how to enjoy life and permanently. They don't want temporary, pain producing enjoyment. So they are called as, uh, these people are called. So now Krishna, these are called Alpamedasam, whereas the devotees are called as Jai Bhaje Krishna, Sai Bara Chatur. So now Krishna moves towards saying about the impersonalist. What about those who worship my impersonal form? What happened to them? What is their status? And uh, and impersonalists are unintelligent, and Krishna says, I am I al- Krishna is not Krishna says I am not obliged to reveal himself to them, right? So I don't. So they are also the similar kind of a category of Alpamedism. But Krishna doesn't say it into Alpamedism. I am saying 24. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyate mama buddhayah param bhavam ajananto mam avyayam anuttamam. Yeah, please read one of you.
Translation: unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, impersonality of Godhead, was impersonal before and have now assumed his personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme.
Hmm.
जिसमें तो clearly काट दिया.
Those who are worshippers of demigods have been described as less intelligent persons, and here the impersonalists are similarly described. Lord Krishna, in his personal form, is here speaking before Arjuna, and still, due to ignorance, impersonalists argue that the Supreme Lord ultimately has no form.
So Prabhupada says about Yamanacharya. This is a very good shloka. Now read the meaning of the shloka directly. My dear devotee, my dear Lord.
My dear Lord, devotees like Vyasdev and Narad know you to be the personality of Godhead. By understanding different Vedic literatures, one can come to know your characteristics, your form, and your activity. And one can thus understand that you are the supreme personality of Godhead. But those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance, the demons, the non-devotees cannot understand you. They are unable to understand you. However, experts such non-devotees may be in discussing Vedanta and the Upanishads and other Vedic literature. It is not possible for them to understand the personality of Godhead. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the personality of Godhead cannot be understood simply by the study of the Vedanta literature. Only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord can the personality of the Supreme be known. Therefore, in this verse, it is clearly stated that not only are the worshippers of the demigods less intelligent, but those non-devotees who are engaged in Vedanta and speculation on Vedic literature without tinge of true Krishna consciousness are also less intelligent. And for them, it is not possible to understand God's personal nature. Persons who are under the impression that the absolute truth is impersonal are described as Buddha, which which means those who do not know the ultimate feature of the absolute.
So Prabhupada over here till now actually is quoting these two, Brahma Samhita, no, that shloka, that Vedas, no, this is uh, there's a shloka which says in between the Brahma Samhita it comes Vedesha Adurlavam Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. In that line actually he says, it is, even these Vedant literature people, Vedantists, they don't understand the form of the Lord. They don't understand that the form of the Lord actually is a real form. They considered a Vyakti. A Vyakt is actually is a state of the Lord, and he because of when he comes under Maya, actually now I don't know how the even Avyakta comes under Maya according to them. But that is what is they have this understanding. Then because of then he develops some desires, and to fulfill those desires he comes with this. He takes a human form in a material form. Foolish. So Prabhupada is saying these two he's quoting Yamunacharya, quotation over here, and Brahma Samhita. And then he also says about that, that shloka he says, Srimad Bhagavatam, the three, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdate. So there are three gradations of realization of the Lord, not that just the impersonal Brahman is the highest. And then Prabhupada says that Shankaracharya also he quotes that, Shankaracharya, who has specifically stated Krishna as Govindam Adi, he says that Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Murmate. No, in fact, Shankaracharya wrote down, Jagannath Ashtakam, so much he has wrote, but Prabhupada is writing. Shankaracharya also, who has specifically stated Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but these fellows don't even follow their own Acharya also. So till now, four proofs Prabhupada gives over here that no, and then he moves over here. The fact is that, please read.
The fact is that no one can understand Krishna without rendering devotional service and without developing Krishna consciousness.
Please recite this verse with me. अथापिते देव पदाम्बुजद्वया प्रसादलेशानुगृहेत एव हि जानाति तत्त्वं भगवन्महिम्नो न चान्य एकोऽपि चिरं विशन्वन्. बढ़िया.
My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the supreme personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. One cannot understand the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, or his form, quality, or name simply by mental speculation or by discussing Vedic literature. One must understand him by devotional service. When one is fully engaged in the consciousness, beginning by chanting the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, then only can one understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Non-devotee impersonalists think that Krishna has a body made of this material nature and that all his activities, his form, and everything are Maya. These
They do
people,
not know that. That they do not. And then Prabhupada says, Kama Sthita Hrita Jnana. These because these people, why they don't understand that? Because they're blinded by lusty desires. They don't want to surrender to a Lord. They surrender to some different demigod. Or, they accept that they accept the and the Lord having no form. These all people have because they have kamasya hrita jnana prapadyante anya devata. And Prabhupada talks about so here he's saying that finally he gives a very conclusive understanding that one can't come to the understanding even or acceptance of the personality of Godhead without prasada leshanugirihita evahi. बिना भगवान के कृपा के अब भगवान का कृपा कब आएगा? कृपा आएगा जब वो चाहेगा कृपा आना है ना भगवान के भक्तों के संग में आता है then he comes into that way of getting accepting the he receives the mercy of the Lord. So so you might have heard one story that once upon a time there was once upon a time there was few beggar kind of a people actually who were sleeping on the road and they all were hungry. At a certain one person comes over there with a plate a plate of full of fruits, cutted fruits of varieties of different category varieties. You have heard the story that he comes over there and gives them that fruit and they all start eating it and they become very happy. सुना है आप लोगों ने? नहीं सुना. ठीक है. So they are very happy actually to eat that fruit. And after eating the fruit, they ask, "We want some more such fruits." The man says, "Oh, you want more fruit? I have, but only you have to come with me." Then he says, "Okay, we'll follow you." So they start following him. They start walking. It's a quite long walk. In between, a desert comes, and they're crossing the desert. The desert is hot, and it is creating difficulty. And then finally, they see an oasis in the desert. The oasis there's a pond, there's a water, there's a trees over there, there's a shade over there. The cooling shade is over there. The people ask, "Is this the place that you wanted to take us to?" The man says, "No, no, no. This is not the place. Please continue." But some people said, "No, no, no, no. We are happy over here only." They drift to that place, to the oasis. But some people continue ahead, you know, with him. They continue ahead for a long time, and then they come to a place where actually they start feeling a cooling breeze, a fragrant breeze, cooling breeze touching their body. And they said, "What is this?" You know, the man says, "Oh, oh, you are very near to the place. You know, is this the place? No, 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 it's not the place. You're very near to the place." And then the man says, "Chalo, chalo, thoda aage chalo." The people, continue with them. Actually, sorry to say, one more category of people are there who, before reaching Oasis, also they say, "Okay, okay." They feel and they're unfaithful people. ये उनको लगता है ये आदमी के पास कुछ है नहीं. They drift away. Some people drift away by seeing Oasis, and then some people they go into that zone where they start feeling cooling breeze, and they continue ahead, and then they come across a big wall, बहुत बड़ा wall, and उसमें बहुत बड़ा gate रहता है. And this man takes out the key of the gate, opens the gate, plunge opens the gate, the door of the gates, and then they say that all the people go in, and as soon as they go in, they see orchards of grapes, orchards of apple, orchards of mango, orchards of whatever fruit you want. Orchards, it's so huge. And he says that no charges. You can be over here, keep on enjoying as much as you can enjoy. So so over here, and Uh, though the people on the road who are like beggars are considered to be as conditioned souls. है ना? Conditioned souls. कुछ तो चाहिए, सब भूखे मरे हैं। भूखे मरे के कारण माया की तरफ देख देख के खुश हो रहे। तो लेकिन वो कौन व्यक्ति है? द पर्सन हु केम टू हिम इज कंपेयर्ड टू whom? Guess.
Spiritual master,
Ah, the compared to spiritual master. And what is the fruits that he has brought is compared to?
love of God.
No, 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 no. Not love of God. He is awarding different types of devotional service because there are different fruits in that plate, you know, and he's awarding them. And then he says, "Hello, come with me." So, what about those people actually who turn before only they इसको क्या इतना मेहनत नहीं करेंगे? They are compared to whom?
Unfaithful people.
Unfaithful people. And that oasis is compared to what?
Physically
Heavenly
repaired.
planets. Heavenly planets. Fickle pleasure. Whole heavenly planet is just an oasis. चले गए कुछ लोग. Calm, you know, you know, attracted by calm, by by their lustful desires, the jnana, karma, all those things. चले गए वो लोग. Then the cooling breeze touched them. What is that compared to?
Brahman.
The Brahman. And that big gate, when they went into it, is compared to Vaikuntha, right? No? So, so they and these people what we are talking about over here, and those who are actually into Brahman, they get over there only stated over there. They think this is all in all. This cooling brick is all in all. Because यहाँ पे क्या है? It is a neutral stage. So no, they come to that stage of Brahman acceptance because they feel the form is a problem. So they considered formlessness would be the will be the end of their misery. So that's how they approached. They considered, and they are also called as Alpamedasam. Prabhupada is saying many times in the purport over here. They are also unintelligent people. They, and in fact, it's been said over here, avyaktim, manyate mam abudhaya, abhudaya, less intelligent people, or you say Alpamedasam, the same. So Prabhupada quotes about these verses over here and tries to tell them that how. So the demigod worshippers, they can't being foolish. They don't recognize the Lord. And even those who are studying the Vedic Vedanta literature, they also don't know the Lord in complete, you know. So both are foolish. Thus, apart from the devotees, everyone is considered over here foolish. Because uh, and this is why the Lord is actually saying over here these verses. So the unintelligent men, they worship the formless Brahman, which is beyond the material world, avyaktim, and they think that avyaktim takes a birth in the house of Vasudev Vyaktim. Vyakt ho jate hain because of his illusory, but in an illusory form. So because they think that they no, so now they think that because this avyakt is vyakt now is visible to just and is visible and visible to the eyes means what it is has to be illusory, you know, because for them everything what is visible is illusory. All is Maya, right? So they don't know that actually, yeah, it's all is Maya, but it's all is not is not temporary. So this is big. All is not illusion. Actually, it's a reality. It's maybe temporary. So this is because they don't know the Lord's form. So they don't know param bhavam. That is a problem of them. So they are there. That's called abudaya. They don't know the proper understanding of the Lord. So there are many things which can be said over here. Uh, but we'll move to the next verse, and then we'll conclude this section for today. And that will be the end of the section, and then we'll move tomorrow to the next section. and we'll complete this chapter tomorrow for sure. 7.25. Naha prakasa sarvasva yogamaya samavritah Muroyam nabijanati loko mam ajam avyayam.
Translation: I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible.
So they don't know that the Lord is actually, wait. Sorry. The Lord, they don't know that the Lord is actually Ajam and Avyayam. Ask Admi. Yeah. So they don't know it. That the Lord is actually Ajam, Avyayam. So these people actually make a fool. Okay, read the purport. Sorry. Okay, read the purport. Yeah, please read the purport.
But it may be argued that since Krishna was visible to everyone when he was present on this earth, how can it be said that he is not manifest to everyone? But actually, he was not manifest to everyone. When Krishna was present, there were only a few people who could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the assembly of Kurus, when Shishupal spoke against Krishna's being elected president of the assembly, Krishna supported him and proclaimed him to be the Supreme God.
Yeah, so many people, the Prabhupada gives Pandavas could understand. Many people could not understand even then. That's why he is not he. So in the prayers of the Kunti, we,
In the prayers of the Kunti in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.19, it is said that the Lord is covered by the curtain of Yog Maya, and thus ordinary people cannot understand him.
so now, so this is very good shloka. So now Prabhupada writes a very beautiful purport to this. So I'm just summarizing this purport. So Prabhupada is first saying that these people don't understand. Many people, even the Lord himself was present, they were able to see him with their eyes, but not able to understand him. Shishupal, so many fellows. So the Pontarak though is um, one of the very amazing fellows. He was so much, and the people who were following were also they were seeing that he has applied wooden hands, extra hands, and all those things. But people were thinking him to be the real Pontarak to be the real Krishna, and the Krishna and Dwarka is artificial. So seeing is not everything. Just by seeing, if somebody would have understood Krishna, then it would, why not we? Many people would have understood it. It's not like that. No? So and that is why Prabhupada is then quoting Bhagavatam, Sri Kunti Maharani, Maya Jaminika Chandam, Agyan Adhokshajam Avyayam, Na Laksha Se Muradrisha Nato Natyo Dharo Yatha. Are these people, my dear Lord, you are beyond the range of sense perceptions, right? No? You are invisible to the foolish observers. Because the foolish people actually who think by observing, by speculation, by their own intelligence, by their own sense perception, they can understand you foolish they are. Yeah, because you cover yourself by your deluding energy to those people's eyes who try to understand you through their limited 200 gram of intelligence. So and Prabhupada quotes many verses over here about Hiranmayana Patrena. This is Ishopanishad verse where it's a very good. This is shloka which you can quote to in front of any impersonalist, and they have to bend down to you. ऐसा है. Hiranmayana Patrena Satasyapaheto Mukham Tattvam Pushan Aprino Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye. Is the verse says that, my dear Lord, your form of your face, Mukham, is actually mukha, your form is covered by Hiranmayana Patana, very dazzling effulgence. Please remove that dazzling effulgence so that I can have darshan of your form. A majority people are happy with the dazzling effulgence only. So they are not, they don't have that much of purity of their intent in their worship. So please the Lord that they can actually come to this understanding that beyond this Hiranmayana Patrena, there is a Satasya Apahitam Mukham. They don't know it. And then finally, there's a very then one verse which I will show you is Brahmaji praying after Brahma Vimohan Leela. and that by that will end. So recite this with me as I'm showing you the verse. Uh, Guna गुण आत्मनस्तेऽप्यपि गुणान् विमातुं हित्वावतीर्णस्य क ईश्वरेस्य कालेन कालेन यैर्वे विमतः सुकल्पे भूपां भूपां स्वः खे द्युवभाषः. Yeah, what Brahmaji says is very clearly. Read it.
In time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the tiny molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities?
Brahmaji is saying, who is a creator of the universe in one way, you know, he does the visarga. He is saying, अरे कोई बल्ले काउंट कर ले atoms on the earth, which is not possible. Particles of snow, not possible. Shining molecules of radiance are not possible. But but even such people can't count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, my dear Lord. They all get and they all have to flat. They become flat. They can't. Their intelligence can't reach to you. So that is why over here the verse has been saying the same verse, the same thing. This verse which Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, which we are reading right now, that Naham Prakasa Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samavritah. Are I am not manifest to these people because I cover myself by my Yoga Maya, not Mahamaya. Huh? Be very clear. Lord can't be covered by Mahamaya, but by his own internal potency, Yoga Maya. You know. Why? Because he doesn't want to get revealed to them because these people they don't have faith. They don't have faith on the form of the Lord. Ajam, they don't know he's inexhaustible. Is actually is unborn. They don't know that. So so actually so they don't see because they don't see the form of the Lord because they don't have that faith. you know an analogy is given, a very good analogy is given over here also, that like the Mount Meru, which is in between. Sometimes sun is not visible to all the people, but because it gets covered by Mount Meru. Same with the Lord says, I am also not visible at all times because I'm covered by Yoga Maya. As the Meru, sometimes, or it's not that the sun is covered, but appears to be covered by Mount Meru. Same with the Lord says, I also cover myself by my Yoga Maya, and I does not allow anybody to see. So, so so that is what one said. Even to the people in the Mathura and Dwarka, when I was present, they were not able to see me because I have covered myself with a Yoga Maya. So that's a very beautiful being spoken over here. That Meru is in the middle of the is the middle of the zodiac, and then the sun. And so when the sun is when the sun then the sun. So when covered is the sun gets covered is not visible. The same way within Krishna's effulgent abode, Yoga Maya is always present like Meru, and she covers over if the people are not so faithful. They don't understand the Lord to be Ajam and Avyayam. So the non-devotees they can't. So don't who have their Maya Jaminikachandam. That's what Maya, the curtain of Maya deludes them. So these people are Mudha. That's what they do not know. Though the Lord is praised by Brahma and Shiva and all, but they don't, they can't understand. That's why you call it. Not, no, that's why they are over here. Being stated by the Lord, they are actually Mudhoyam na bhijanati. But our devotees are very fortunate people. They know the form of the Lord. They understand it. They worship Him. Yes, bro. Ajay, question, huh? Our time is up. Yes, bro. Please ask. Those who wish to leave, they can leave.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful answer. So, Ji, as you mentioned about the Yogamaya and Mahamaya, I just like yesterday I listened one class and they're they're discussing the bhav of Vrajavasis, and in the class it was mentioned that Aishwarya bhav, even though Lord is trying to convey them, and Govardhan Lila happened, or Kalyadan happened, Lord is trying to say them, it was me, but Rajavasis are not able to conceive only. वजह से they वो तो हम भी कर लेंगे. Like how Madhu Mangal was saying कि it was due to my Brahmanical effulgence it happened, or Rajesh is saying कि मैंने काठी पकड़ा. They're not able to understand only. Again, as you mentioned now, कि, like because of Yoga Maya, they are not able to understand. So my question is, Prabhu, it is like, is it like both the things, like due to Lord's Yoga Maya, they're not able to understand, or it's like their love is also so intense, or both the things?
Oh, in the Vrajavasi's case, the love is so intense, and the Lord, actually, Lord sometimes wants to show their love is so intense that even the Lord wants to say that, see, I am God. They say, hey, you're not God. Our intensity of love is so high. You know?
So
And in
Yoga
fact,
Maya
when
is not there.
sometimes, yeah, Yogamaya also, Yogamaya actually, because the intensity of the love is so high that actually Krishna's, Krishna's, Krishna and his Shaktis also has to become, down.
Hmm.
In fact, yeah, sometimes it may happen that when Mother Yashoda sees the dirt in the sees actually the Lord shows no,
Ramayana.
the universal form in the one the Buddha. So she is bewildered for some time, but the Lord then covers it over. The Lord also actually doesn't want, you know. That is a part of a Leela. He just want to show us the greatness. He's showing that even I want, they are not ready to accept me. So it's a very different platform over here and there. Yeah,
Yes.
but to say very clearly, Lord is not covered by Mahamaya. Our
Hmm.
vision is covered by Mahamaya. Lord is not covered by Mahamaya.
Thank you.
Yes, true. Haribol. We end over here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We'll meet tomorrow.